why Tainan is Taiwan's food capital and a historic treasure. Now, let's visit a few of the city's historic sites. Anping Old Fort was built under Dutch rule in 1624. It was the center of Dutch military and trade activities until it was later captured by Zheng Chenggong's forces. Today, it's a much more peaceful place, offering a great view and a touch of history. Another famous site is Turkan Tower. It was first built by the Dutch and later turned into a Chinese-style building. One of its highlights is the 9 stone turtles carrying tablets, which were made more than 200 years ago. Tired of walking? Take a break at National Chunggong University's Banyan Park, a peaceful spot with 12 old banyan trees. Some of these huge trees date back to the time of Japanese rule, 1895 to 1945. It's also a popular spot where many students take pictures just before they graduate. From tasty snacks to incredible landmarks, every corner of this city has something special to offer.
Today's warm-up quiz is, the chocolate cake you made is so blank, I can't stop eating it. A. Hot. B. Salty. C. Sour. D. Tasty.
You have 15 seconds to think about it. Time's up.
Hello there and welcome to English for You. I'm Mike.
I'm Nikki.
I'm pretty sure I'm Mike.
You are.
I am Mike, yes, and you are definitely Nikki. And we are in Tainan. Well, we aren't, but the article is, and it is a good place to be. I think that is safe to say. Not only did your grandparents live there, which is fantastic, but it's also Taiwan's food capital and a historic treasure.
Exactly.
Did you know that?
Of course I knew.
You did know that. We've already covered this stuff. We've actually learned about most of that first part.
Yeah, the food part.
Capital part. We've covered that. I think CNN called it the capital of food or something. And
we don't really need them telling us.
Well, they don't, of course. We've known that for a long time. They have a wonderful squid soup.
小卷米粉.
They have the wonderful meatballs.
骂完.
Yeah, and they have, what else did they have there?
粥, congee.
Yes, the congee as well, which would be lovely. I'm not a big summertime congee guy because it's kind of hot, but I think in the winter that would be wonderful. And we also learned a bit of the history. It's been a town since the 17th century, so the 1600s. I think kind of the oldest city in Taiwan,
yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Before Taipei or Kaohsiung or Geelong or anywhere kind of became a big place. Tainan was one of the was kind of the capital. It was with a big city, and that's the part we're going to focus on today, the historic treasure part of that title. So let's get to it. All right, so let's get into it. And as the article says, in a very good way to begin today's look, now let's visit a few of the city's historic sites. That's what we're going to be doing in the article today, visiting some of the famous old places or the city's historic sites, beginning with one that I've actually been to. Anping Old Fort was built under Dutch rule in 1624. Didn't we say that the history went back to the 17th century? Well, 1624 is the 17th century, and the Dutch built a fort, and you can still see it today, and it's really, really cool.
那介绍完了台南的美食之后，今天要来看看台南的古迹们。那首先呢，是在荷兰统治时期所建造的安平古堡。那 fort 这个名词呢，指的就是一个堡垒。
And what was this fort for? Good question. It was the center of Dutch military and trade activities until it was later captured by
郑成功.
Thank you's forces. He's Koshinga, right? He's got that other name. Koxinga. I'm pretty sure that's the guy. He was a pirate from China, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the guy. I read a book about him. Very interesting fella. Anyway, so yes, that was the Dutch headquarters, and they used it to trade with China and, do their trade and stuff. And then this gentleman from China came along and kicked them out. It says today it's a much more peaceful place, offering a great view and a touch of history. So no cannonballs flying around, no people dying in battle. Today, that's the past. You can learn about all that past. But now, it's a great place and it has wonderful views, and you can learn about the history of that old fort. Okay, so we had a couple of words there to look at. The first one is to capture. To capture. This is a verb. To capture something is to sort of grab it and hold on to it and not let it go. The most common way you might see this is if the police are looking for a criminal, or maybe an animal got out from the zoo and everyone's running around trying to find this dangerous person or dangerous animal, grab it, hold on to it, and bring it back to somewhere safe. That's to capture. They capture the bad guy, they capture the lion or something. But we can also use it in a warlike kind of situation when one army takes a place. When one army comes in, there's a big battle, and then that army now controls a place that is not theirs. In other words, an army invades a country and they have power and they take control of parts of the country that they have invaded or entered. Here's an example. During World War II, the Japanese captured Singapore from the British in February 1942. It was British land, then the Japanese came in, beat the British army, and now it was Japanese. They captured that city. And to capture something in a war, you would need a force of some kind, because a force is just a bunch of soldiers or other things that are doing fighting. We would use this word in a very general way. We could talk about land or army forces. We could talk about air forces, airplanes and bombers. And of course, a navy is the military force on the water, in the ocean, that kind of thing. If you're a soldier, you're a member of the forces, which could be army, navy, air force, whatever, but we're talking about people or groups or machines that do fighting. For example, military forces will be doing exercises and war games next weekend. All kinds of fighting people and fighting machines. Forces, in other words.
那在荷兰殖民的时候呢，它算是一个军事重镇，同时也有很多贸易活动，直到郑成功攻台。那今天呢，在这里相较之前呢，比较是个宁静的地方，是个适合看风景、听历史的好地方。那 capture 这个动词指的是掠夺或者是夺取、占领。To catch, to take something by force. Also, it could mean 捕捉或者是绘影，比如说你画下来啊，或者是拍下来。So for example, these photos capture the essence of this beautiful town. 那另外 force 这个名词指的是总称、军队或者是部队。So we talked about the army, navy, or air force 空军 task force 或者是派特遣军队、特权部队。那 a touch of something 指的是一点点或者是些许的某些东西。
Now, another famous site is Chicken Tower. Am I saying that right?
Yes.
Okay, because
perfect.
It's not Chicken Tower.
No, it's Chicken
Tower. It's not Chicken Tower. Don't say Chicken Tower. You can, but no one will know what you're talking about, and there are no chickens there. Another famous site is Chicken Tower. It was first built by the Dutch and later turned into a Chinese-style building. Very, very interesting. I also went there, and it was very, very interesting.
They all look a bit similar to me, though.
They kind of do, but, a fort's a fort, and this is a tower, and there's no chickens.
那除了安平古堡之外呢，还有赤坎楼，也是很著名的古迹，它也是荷兰人所建造，但是后来呢变成了一个比较中式的建筑。那 be turned into something or somebody 指的就是被变成怎么样子的东西或者是人。
All right, so the Chicken Tower is very interesting, built by the Dutch and then changed to a Chinese religious building. It says one of its highlights, or one of its special things you gotta see, one of its highlights is the 9 stone turtles carrying tablets, which were made more than 200 years ago, which is pretty old. And yes, you will find these stone turtles. They're kind of carvings or, statues that decorate the tower. And they all have tablets. What is a tablet? A tablet tablet is basically a flat piece of stone or wood. Well, could it be wood? That's probably stone. And it has words written on it, especially things that are sort of knocked into it, chiseled into it, cut into it. And back in the old days, before they had a lot of paper, or if you wanted to make something and put it on a statue where it would be for hundreds of years, writing in stone was a good idea. That's what people would do. And you can still maybe find a tablet at the bottom of a famous statue telling you the person's name, when they lived, or something like that. And of course, in many old and ancient buildings, we find tablets with old writing that is still there for us to see. For example, this ancient tablet says that a Roman emperor once lived here. Very interesting.
Tablet 这个名词指的是刻有文字的碑啊，或者是牌，或者是匾额 ，a piece of probably wood, stone, or metal that you can write or put words on. Also, it could mean a small piece of medicine， 可以是一个药片 ，a vitamin tablet. 那 highlight 我们看到这个名词指的是最精彩的部分 ，the most exciting part or something. So when you don't have time to watch the game, if you miss the game, you can just watch the highlights.
Oh, okay. Or if someone tells you and asks you, "How was your holiday?" and you tell them about the 3 or 4 things that were really great, those are the highlights of your holiday. All right, let's get back to the article. Next, we get a little question to see how we're feeling after already doing many fun things in Tainan. It says, tired of walking? As a question like, are you tired of walking? Or when you are tired of walking? It's giving us suggestions about what we can do if we're feeling tired of walking. Are you tired of walking? Tired of walking? Take a break at National Chenggang University's Banyan Park, a peaceful spot with 12 old banyan trees. I didn't do that. I didn't go there.
I think I did.
I gotta go back.
It's just a big tree.
It's 12. 12 of them.
True.
Have you ever seen that many banyan trees in one place?
I did.
Oh.
那
I haven't.
如果走累了
I'm excited.
也可以
My
到
life is
成功大
boring,
学
sir.
的榕树下休息一下。如果走累了，也可以到成功大学的榕树下休息一下。Banyan 这个名词指的就是榕树。
Did I see a really big old banyan tree?
Where? 宜兰
Penghu?
Oh.
I think maybe Penghu's got one by a temple. It's like 300 years old. Anyways, you can see 12 of them in this park by the university. That sounds pretty cool.
那在这边看到我们今天的文法 ，Let's take a look. 那今天我们看到 language and focus 要用的是非限定用法。那非限定用法指同位语和形容词子句相同，同位语有限定跟非限定的两种用法。那通常是用来补述。那非限定用法呢，通常是用来补充说明前面的先行词。那同位语呢，即使去除也不会影响语义的理解。但是要注意说，这个用法呢，同位语要放在句中的时候呢，必须前后都要加逗点，让句子和其他东西分开。So for example, the Eiffel Tower, a symbol of Paris, attracts millions of visitors every year. 那 a symbol of Paris 就是 the Eiffel Tower 的非限定同位语，所以它进一步的解释了埃菲尔铁塔的文化意义。
All right, so go to the university there. You can have this wonderful view of 12 big old banyan trees. And when we say they're old, we're not joking around. It says some of these huge trees date back to the time of Japanese rule. And we're reminded that was from 1895 to 1945. This, of course, is Japanese rule of Taiwan, which lasted for 50 years from those dates.
After the Dutch people.
Way after the Dutch people. Yes, exactly right. Right up until the end of World War II, as you can see there, 1945. So the trees have been there for obviously more than 100 years, most of them, or many of them. It's also, it says, a popular spot where many students take pictures just before they graduate.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, because it's a very nice and interesting place. And it has all these huge trees. And, you know, everyone loves a huge tree, right? Because a huge tree is a really, really big tree. It's not just a tree. It's not just a big tree. It's a huge tree. So huge is just a great adjective to say bigger than big, really, really big. For example, an elephant may be big, but a blue whale is huge.
Oh.
That's true, actually. Yes. And yes, we had that word to graduate. Students take their pictures there by the banyan trees before they graduate. To graduate, this is a verb. It can also be used as a noun with the same spelling, but a different pronunciation. I'll get to that in a second. But to graduate is to successfully complete all of your studies at a certain school. You've done all the classes, gotten the right grades, passed all the tests or enough of them. And at the end, they're like, well done, you've learned as much as we can teach you. Now you can go off and do something else. Often you'll wear a special robe and a funny little hat, and you'll get a piece of paper that has your name and the name of the school, and you can hang that up. You have graduated, you have done everything you do, you've passed. Now get out of this school and don't come back. And if you are that person who graduates, this is the noun form, you are a graduate, okay? A graduate graduates. So it, ate, graduate, noun, person, graduate, verb, finish all your classes. For example, Xenia graduated from the same university that her great-grandfather did 100 years ago. They are both graduates of that university because they both graduated.
那这棵大树的历史可以回溯到日治时期，那很多要毕业的大学生也会来这边拍毕业照。Huge 这个形容词指的就是巨大的、庞大的 ，something that's big.Enormous, gigantic. 那 graduate 这个动词呢，指的是毕业。So when you graduate, you complete your education and get a degree. A degree or a diploma 指的是文凭或者是学位。那 graduate student 不是毕业的学生哦，指的是研究生。
All right, from tasty snacks to incredible landmarks, every corner of this city has something special to offer. I think we've covered that pretty well.Yes, we've been talking a lot, especially in day one, about all the tasty food that you can try in Tainan. And I would say that Taiwan has a lot of tasty food to offer local people and visitors. Why is it tasty? Because it's delicious. It's yummy. It tastes good when you put it in your mouth. You put it in your mouth, you eat it, and your brain goes, I like this. That's what we mean by tasty, okay? So something you enjoy eating, something that makes you happy because you're eating it, something your brain likes when you put it in your mouth is tasty. For example, wow, have you tried Frank's new fried chicken recipe? It's really tasty. Okay, I'll try it.Tasty
这个形容词指的就是美味的、可口的 ，is delicious。那所以今天的 warm up quiz 是 The chocolate cake you made is so 怎么样 ？I can't stop eating it。如果你没有办法停下来，你要一直吃，那就表示它一定是很好吃嘛。所以我们只能选 D 选项的 tasty 美味的、可口的。那 A 选项 hot 这边指的是辣的 ，B 选项 salty 是咸的 ，C 指的是 sour 指的是酸的。所以巧克力蛋糕应该只会是 tasty。So the correct answer would be D, tasty。那另外看到 incredible 这个形容词指的是令人惊讶的或者是极佳的 ，something that's extremely good。那 landmark 指的就会是地标 ，a place or a building that is easily recognized. So for example, Taipei 101, the Eiffel Tower, Big Ben. 那最后课文告诉我们，台南真的是应有尽有，从美食到地标景点，在这边都找得到。那喜欢今天的主题吗？不要忘了按赞、订阅、分享我们的 YouTube 频道和 Facebook 哦。
All right, before we leave you guys, we have our For You chat question. This is a good one for you.
For me.
Because you're not from Tainan, right?
Yeah,
Just
no.
your grandparents. Okay, so what special title would you give your hometown and why? First of all, what is your hometown?
It's in Sanchong.
It's in Sanchong.
Yes.
Okay, so what special title would you give your hometown in Sanchong and why?
A gangster district. Because,
Really?
Yeah, because there's a lot of exactly.
Okay.
I've heard gunshots there.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, right downstairs.
Wow.
People fighting and shooting, and
Was that
police
like your
came.
dad and your mom?
No.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah,
well,
but
okay.
they're eating at the restaurant and they had a fight and then they started shooting each other.
Well, that's where I'm not going to be visiting. As I'm on my way to Tainan, I will go round Sanchong. So do you live there now?
Yeah, here. Yeah.
Are you?
Still.
Be careful.
I'm okay. I'm
Okay.
okay. Don't worry about me.
All right. There you go. So if you want to get yourself into some big gunfighting action, you know where to go, but don't do that. Go to Tainan and try some of the food. Vocabulary Review
Capture. The army easily captured the city after the enemy king gave up and let them in. Force. The country sent a special force to protect the border and maintain peace in the region. Tablet. The tablet on the museum wall listed all the important events in the town's history. Huge. The box was so huge that we couldn't get it through the apartment door. Graduate. Steve worked hard in college so that he could get a good job once he graduated. Tasty. These cookies are really tasty. I love the mix of chocolate and nuts.
智慧小补帖
Fort. Highlight. Banyan. Incredible. Landmark.